Snowflakes drifted lazily down onto the quiet streets of Moscow, dusting the city in silver and white. Christmas lights glowed in the cafe windows, casting a warm golden hue on the snow-covered sidewalks. Inside l'Amour Café, a man sat alone at a corner table near the frosted glass. His name was Alexei Volkov, the young CEO of one of Russia's largest logistics companies. Usually, he spent Christmas Eve in his penthouse reading reports or working late, but tonight was different. He glanced at his watch. 4:45 p.m. She was 15 minutes late. He wasn't used to waiting for anyone, not employees, not business partners, not even women. Yet something about the messages he'd exchanged with Elena over the dating app had made him curious. She'd been honest, even blunt. "I'm a single mom, I don't have much, and I don't play games." Maybe that's what drew him in. Her words had none of the polished charm he was used to. Meanwhile, outside, Elena was running down the snowy street, clutching her worn-out handbag, her boots slipping on the icy pavement. She had spent the past hour at the hospital with her sick son, Daniil. When she'd finally gotten him settled with a neighbor, she realized she was already late for the one thing she'd promised herself she wouldn't miss, her first date in 3 years. Her heart pounded as she reached the cafe door, snow tangled in her hair. She hesitated. She looked out of place among the elegant couples and crystal chandeliers. Her coat was old, her gloves mismatched, but she took a deep breath and stepped in. Alexei looked up. For a second, he forgot to breathe. She wasn't what he expected. No designer dress, no perfect makeup, just a woman with tired eyes and a gentle smile that carried a quiet strength. "I'm so sorry I'm late," she said softly, brushing snow from her coat. "My son, he wasn't feeling well and—" "It's okay," Alexei interrupted, standing up. "You came. That's what matters." He pulled out her chair and she sat, cheeks flushed from the cold. The waiter approached, but she shook her head. "I'm fine, really. I just wanted to meet you. I can't stay long." Alexei studied her for a moment, the way she wrapped her hands around the cup of tea he'd ordered for her, as if warming her soul. There was something real about her. They talked, not about business or money, but about simple things. Her son, his childhood, their favorite Christmas memories. With every word, Alexei felt the walls around his heart begin to melt. When she finally stood to leave, apologizing again for cutting the evening short, he rose too. "Elena," he said quietly, "can I see you again?" She hesitated. "You don't have to. I know I'm not." But he smiled. "You're exactly what I've been waiting for." Outside, the snow kept falling, and for the first time in years, Alexei didn't feel alone. The next morning, Moscow woke under a blanket of stillness. Snow shimmered on the rooftops and the streets were quiet. Christmas morning had come. Alexei sat in his car, parked in front of a small apartment block far from the city center. He had asked Elena for her address the night before, insisting on bringing a small gift for her son. She had refused at first, embarrassed, but finally agreed with a sigh and a soft, "Only for Daniil, not for me." He stepped out of his car, holding a toy fire truck wrapped in red paper. His breath fogged in the cold air as he climbed the stairs, listening to the echo of children's laughter behind the walls. When the door opened, Elena stood there in a simple sweater, her hair tied back, eyes widening in surprise. "Alexei? You really came?" "I told you I would," he said, smiling. "May I come in?" Her small apartment smelled of pancakes and cinnamon. The furniture was old but clean, the windows decorated with paper snowflakes cut by little hands. In the corner sat a boy of about 6, pale but cheerful, with big brown eyes. "Daniil, this is my friend, Mr. Volkov," she said carefully. The boy coughed lightly but grinned. "Mama said you waited for her yesterday." "You must be very patient." Alexei laughed. "Sometimes patience is worth it." He handed the gift over, watching the boy's eyes light up as he unwrapped the toy. For the next hour they talked and laughed as if they had known each other for years. Elena relaxed slowly, her laughter warm and genuine. But when Daniil went to his room to play, she turned serious. "Alexei," she said quietly, "you don't have to pretend. I know who you are. Everyone in Moscow knows the name Volkov." He frowned slightly. "So what?" "So, you belong to a different world. I work as a cleaner in an office building. I'm late on rent most months. My son's been sick and sometimes I can't even afford the medicine. Her eyes filled with tears she tried to hide. You don't need this kind of burden. Alexei was silent for a moment, studying her face, the same honesty that had first drawn him to her. Then he said, Elena, maybe for once in my life I want something real. You and Daniil, you remind me what life's supposed to feel like. She looked up at him surprised. You don't even know me. I'd like to, he said gently, if you'll let me. Outside, the church bells began to ring, echoing across the snowy streets. Elena didn't know what to say. Her world had never given her gifts like this, but as she looked at her son's smiling face and then back at Alexei, she saw something in his eyes. Not pity, but hope. That Christmas, for the first time in years, she didn't feel alone either. And somewhere between a poor single mother and a lonely CEO, something new began. Quietly, like the first snow of winter,